head units, and here are all the questions you guys want to see. So let's get to it and answer all these. Let's start with the boot. Now I haven't turned this on for a while, but as you can tell, it boots up real quick. Normal time is like 10 seconds, but that was instant if you had it on for the last like 10 hours or an hour, depending on what your settings that you want. So if you want to keep it on for like a week or two on sleep mode, then it's possible. But yeah, you saw the cold boot, it's quick. Now let's go to the newest question first. Will this unit fit my OEM dash for an FRS or B or Z? Yes, it does. And he asked about the trim piece. This trim piece is from Canada. Links in the description below on where you can get that Canada piece if you want that one piece, because mine didn't come like that. So JMerk197 asks, so what do you think about what performs better, the 8-core or the previous Pinello unit you did? So the Pinello was like a dual core, so not even the quad core. The Pinello actually worked pretty good. It wasn't fast, but it wasn't slow. This guy right here, it is more modern, it's more energy efficient, the 8-core. But when I talk about performance, it's so similar that it's not something that I would be like, wow, I would definitely go for a quad core, or I would definitely go with the octa-core over the quad core. It's not much of a big difference for what I use it for, Pandora and Spotify. The only times I notice it is if you get Spotify and let's say like Waze open, like a GPS app, then it might chug a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty good. So don't worry too much about that. RAM is important. I would recommend at least 1 gig of RAM, and preferably a quad core, but octa-core, don't really worry about that. Dual core is not bad, but go for the quad core minimum. All right, next question. I have an 8.6. Does it work for a backup camera? Yes, it does. This one has a 2016 BRZ. It does have a backup camera. I would have to turn the car on. And there's the backup camera. And really easy to wire. Don't trip about installation. You don't really need a professional guy to do it. I don't really mess with this stuff. Well, now I do, but before I didn't really mess with this stuff, and it was pretty easy. Let's see what number 2 from Switzerland. Does it support Amazon Music? Yes, it does. That's from Eric. It does support any app on the the Android Play Store. It will work. Next question. Does this music stop playing music when you're in GPS mode, like Waze or Spotify? When you have Spotify open and you open up GPS, it actually has both audio working at the same time. So you don't have to worry about that. If you're playing one thing, then you can, like let's say you're playing this music app, you can have the GPS app at the same time, and it'll do turn by turn direction and still play music. It's a good question. Can I have this fit for XYZ unit? Now check out Cicane's website. They have custom built ones specifically for your unit. So ABG here asks for, does it work for a Kia Optima? There's actually one on their website. Click the link below, cicane.com/blah blah blah, and you'll be able to go to the search bar and look for your particular unit. There's a lot, and it's surprisingly how much custom units they make. This one fits the BRZ perfectly. FRS, Toyota, Highlanders, any Toyotas. This is called the Toyota style. There's one for my WRX that you guys are very familiar with. But go to that website, check it out. It's awesome. This guy asked about my knee pads. This is just carbon fiber wrap. Is it plug and play for the reverse camera? The reverse camera is not plug and play. The audio and all that stuff is plug and play. The reverse camera, you need to get a 12 volt to 6 volt converter. Links below. Jay Vong Van asked, can you show me a little bit more about the GPS and nav and show the EQ settings? So yeah, let's do that. So when it comes to navigation, this is a car launcher, by the way. Someone asked about what launcher it's called. It's called car launcher, exactly. Here's some of the apps. Torque app is pretty cool. So the navigation has a built-in, it's called iGo navigation. So it's booting up. Once it's booted up, then you can swap interchangeably. So here's the GPS. This one doesn't require any data, doesn't require nothing. If you're just driving it, it's basically like a TomTom or an OEM navigation. This is actually the OEM navigation app that was used on my Subaru 2015 Harman Kardon package. It shows miles per hour. You can go to the menus. It actually reports speed limits too, which is kind of cool. You can set all your stuff. It's like any GPS. I don't want to go too much in depth, but that's how things look. You can set up like notifications, warnings if you're over the speed limit and stuff. I turn most of that off because it is kind of annoying. But I do like this as a kind of like a screensaver. So if you have something like this just as a screensaver, it looks really nice. When you're driving, you're cruising, it's not too bright. It looks good. So let's move on to the next question. What's the speed of the GPS antenna? 1 Hz, 5 Hz, 10 Hz? I can't comment on that. That's by Jared. Ricky Boy asks, I never installed a head unit before. Is there an install video for this particular model? Yes, check out my channel. I have a bunch of install. It's really easy with the Android head units from Sakane. They come with a plug and play harness. So it'll come like a harness with this, and you don't really have to wire anything for the unit to just work. So this is the Toyota style. And that's just kind of like a prop, just to show you. It's easy. It's easy, guys. Don't worry about the install. But links below. Check out my channel. I do quite a bit of install videos on the WRX and Subaru, but this is universal. So if you don't have either or, don't worry about it, and just ask questions, and I'll help you out. Jorman Ariaga asks, does this have XM radio support? Just want to make sure. And so the answer to that is it does not have XM radio support. If you want to, you're gonna have to get Wi-Fi from a hotspot through your phone. That's a really popular question. How do you get internet? I hotspot through my phone, then it goes through the thing. Then you can download the XM radio app to get it to work. All right, next question. Same question. This is from Mario Paul. He asks of how did I get the stream? Links below, my friend. Links below where you can get that. You're interested in hearing the mic and Bluetooth quality. Can you retain your factory USB port? Yes, you can contain your factory USB, whether it's here, whether it's in here. There's an adapter you can buy. It depends on your car, so go to Amazon.com. I can link to below that works with the 2015 WRX, but the newer ones use a different USB, so make sure you get the right USB. And when it comes about the Bluetooth quality, it sounds great, way better than stock. So if you have your stock head unit and it sounds like a crappy audio, then don't worry about that. And now talk about the microphone quality that's built in. I don't even know where the microphone is. I think it's right here. It sounds okay. It doesn't sound great. It sounds okay. It's usable information. When my girlfriend's driving the BRZ and I'm home and I'm calling her, I can hear her fine. It's not like, it's not like she's on a Bluetooth headset or anything. You can tell it's in a car, but it's acceptable. How's the quality of the sound? Zing Zing asks. Now, the quality of sound, it's better than stock, but if you were looking for sound quality, I definitely recommend an amp combo with this. It does have subwoofer outs and stuff. Now, I'm not too technical on my WRX. I do have an amp. It sounds good. It sounds a lot better than the BRZ setup, but I think a lot of people will be okay with this. I wouldn't recommend buying an Android head unit if you're focusing on, just sound. This is more of the whole package. Okay. You should show all the features about the amp. Oh yeah, let me show you guys the EQ. You can go to the settings. This one's nice because it has buttons on the side. And you go to sound. And let's see if there's an EQ here. Just volume. Now this is my girlfriend's car, so I am not really familiar with the interface. It's about the same as mine. So you can change the EQ here, but we want to see the real EQ. Amplifier is what it's called. So this is how the settings, it looks on the amplifier. Now if you want to go in depth, there is a possibility of rooting your device and downloading Viper for Android. You can get a really crazy sound coming from this, but this is how the default EQ looks like. You have your fader, you can adjust that to whatever you want, or you can just set that this is specifically tailored for her car. The subwoofer doesn't work. The BRC doesn't have it, but this is how she likes her music. You can change the presets. There's jazz, rock, the normal stuff. How easy does it? So we have Zach Carson. He's asking about the Bluetooth Connect and how slow it is. It's fast. The thing with this is, for my head unit, it connects before it even fully boots. So it takes 10 to 15 seconds to boot. This thing actually, the Bluetooth is already hooked up before it even fully boots. Auto connector works great on this car. Scrolling down. That was from Car Scene. Phone qualities, we already talked about it. It's easy. Same process, especially someone asked about iPhone. It's the same process as any Bluetooth device on your phone. So if you're using an iPhone or Android, the Bluetooth pairing process is normal. Are you using a non-stock launcher? Yes, this is again the car launcher. Can you download apps from the web store or Play Store? Yes, you can download apps from the Play Store, or there's a file browser within the unit. There's an APK installer too. And you can, if you have a USB or micro USB, you don't have to go directly to the Play Store. Let's say if you want to download some, unauthorized apps, it's there. And the ones I recommend is, Pandora or Spotify Unlimited. Those hack versions are pretty cool. Do you have a magnetic compass? I don't know about that. It uses GPS antenna, so it does have a pretty good idea of where it's locating. I never have issues of it being on the wrong direction. It's the same as like this phone having sometimes it's not oriented in the right direction unless you're going. And this is a Note 8, so you can buy a lot of head units with this phone right here. Initial settings. When I first turned this head unit on, the initial settings, it was already set up. So if you don't like that, you might have to reinitialize. But it was already pretty much set up with the stock Android. They set up for you. Does it easily connect to your subwoofer system? The BRZ does not have one, but there is an RCA jack out. We'll let you know about adding an amp in both Pinello and Chicane. I have an amp, the factory amp for the Chicane works perfectly fine. The BRZ has a factory amp and it works perfectly fine. I can't comment on if you have a multi-channel or a mono-channel subwoofer. Does it fit 04 to 07 STIs? Yeah, just get the one that fits your car. There's a bunch of models. Can you download the patch Pandora? Yes, you can. That's what I love about this unit. You download a patch Pandora and you can unlimited skips. You can download any song you want. And that's nice because when you're cruising and you don't want a hotspot, you already have songs pre-downloaded. This is how Kim's setup is. There's already songs pre-downloaded from her radio stations. She has 35 songs for, it's a nice setup. Does hands-free calling still work? Yes. And does USB aux work? Aux works. USB, you need to buy an adapter. Most of these questions are repeats. Does it fit with 2010? Yes, it does fit pretty much every Toyota that has this kind of shape. So if you have this shape, it's probably gonna fit. Who manufactures this unit? Let me get into that. So there's dealers like Chicane, Subi Speed, and different Joying, but they all use. There's a manufacturer for each one. So let me go to settings. Actually, should be located here. About machine. So this is on 6.0. I have the 7.1. They're actually pretty comparable to each other. This means into you guys right there. MTCD KGL 2.6. And there's the serial number. CPU. There you go. 8-core, baby. Do you have to hotspot 3G or 4G? Yes, you do. But if you get that Pandora app, again, you can download songs, and then when you hotspot, and maybe you don't want to hotspot, your phone's dead or whatever, you can already have some songs downloaded onto your car. What's the main difference between the Pinello unit and this unit right here? The Pinello unit's nice because it has an actual 4K, not 4K, sorry. It has an actual HD screen, so above 700, on the vertical axis. And this is 800 by 600 or something like that. And so this one doesn't look as sharp as the Pinello unit. It does have the CD DVD drive. The main reason for me to get this one is if you don't have steering wheel controls, then it may be easier to control your stuff like that. On my WRX, mine has no buttons, and that's fine because most of my buttons are on my steering wheel control on my car. So if you have a WRX with steering controls, maybe get the one without the buttons, so you can get a higher resolution screen. This one does have a lower resolution screen, but the buttons are well welcome, trust me. So I would sacrifice resolution just to get to those buttons to make it easier to change your songs, because to change songs here, you just go boop, 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 to skip, to turn rewind. like that, easy. And then this is the volume rocker, which a lot of people like. Does this have RCA subwoofer out? Yes, it does. Awesome video. Can you buy a USB hotspot? I believe you can. A lot of people do it. I don't have it. I think you need to buy an additional adapter. And that concludes most of the questions. Ask any more questions below, and I'll answer them. Let me just go one more tour around this. Here's how the Bluetooth app works. You need to have your Bluetooth hooked on. My girlfriend's not here. Spotify, Pandora. Now, my Spotify didn't work with my octa-core, and let's let you know that. So if people are just like, no, octa-core is better, there is some compatibility issues. So she's been using Pandora. Let's go look at the apps. Radio. So yeah, let me just answer some of the questions that a lot of people have asked me too. People were asking about the radio signal being weak. Make sure when you do the radio antenna that you, like, when you plug in this, the other end is like this little white thing. Make sure you're getting power to the blue. Also, some cars have a remote amp turn on. That's another blue wire that you need to look out for too. Make sure if you're getting no sound but it works, you want to give that remote amp turn on to turn on the amp, because the amp won't turn on and you'll get no sound. So that's a really easy fix. But other than that, that's quite a long video. It's 18 minutes of me recording. I'm probably gonna chop it up, make it cleaner. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'm here to help you guys. And I hope you guys like my content. It's a little bit more freestyle. I've been busy over Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great December. And peace out.